and welcome back to Cooking for Two 101. Today, I'm so excited. We are making a pan-seared ribeye, and lucky me, I got to practice quite a few times. So first I want to talk to you about this steak. A ribeye is a very marbled piece of meat, and all the marbling, which is fat, gives it all of the good flavor. Is it expensive? Yeah, it's kind of expensive, but is it worth it? Absolutely, especially when you're going to share one, because quite frankly, that's too much for me to eat. So I brought my steak home. This is a little less than a pound. It's nice and thick, which you don't want to get any thinner than whatever this is, maybe a little less than an inch, because it'll cook too fast and the juices will be gone by the time you eat it. You also want to look for all of this fat, which is called marbling in the steak. I brought it home, I patted it dry, and I seasoned it generously with salt and pepper on both sides, and I let it sit on the counter for about 45 minutes. You want it to be at room temperature. Next, what I've done is bring my pan up to heat. We're going to do this in our cast iron skillet, the Finex. You want to have a pan that can hold heat. It's probably, I don't know, 500 degrees, maybe. It's really, really hot. So you want to use an oil that can handle that heat. You don't use olive oil or something like that. You want to use avocado oil or any of those high heat oils. I'm just going to lightly spray it. No big deal. And we're going to lay this steak down. Hopefully we're going to get a really loud sear, because that's what we want, a sizzle. And that means the pan is hot enough. Oh yeah, that's what we want to hear. So sometimes ribeyes have this fat cap on the outside. And if you don't want your steak to curl, which we really don't, you could just cut it down the side. That way, you know, like when you cook a pork chop, sometimes it cups. It's not going to sear. So cut this little fat cap on the side, just one slice. That's all this one needs, just so that it lays flat on the pan. Okay, this one's going to cook on high, like really pretty high, for about 2 minutes. When we come back, we'll flip it over. All right, so it's actually been about 2.5, maybe 3 minutes. And I did press the center of the steak down because I really want it to sear well. So let's take a look. Oh, look at that. Yum, that's beautiful. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. All right, so we want this side to sear just as well. And while that's happening, we're just gonna do a little bit of prep. I did peel 3 garlic cloves. Oops, I forgot my knife. But I wanna smash them. I want them to be just broken open a little bit so that flavor gets in the butter really quickly. I have here just a small amount of fresh thyme and a cold stick of butter. I want the butter to melt slowly. I don't want it to burn. So I'm going to use cold butter. And I'm going to cut myself maybe 3 or 4 big chunks. And we're going to add that to the pan here in a little bit and add the garlic and the herbs. And then we'll make the sauce that goes on top. But I got to wait about a minute. So we'll be right back. Okay, the pan's really hot. The steak is very smoky, but that means flavor. Brown food is good. I'm going to add just a couple of these pats of butter to start with into the pan, along with the garlic and the thyme. And what we're going to do is allow the butter and the thyme to melt together and the garlic to create that flavor, that butter sauce that's going to make our steak amazing. While you're at it, you sort of want to lift that steak up and get some of that buttery deliciousness under there. Yeah. All right, the next step is to baste your steak with this melted herb and garlic butter. Just lift up the corner a little bit and drizzle it over the top, just like that. And you're just going to keep doing this until the steak is done, which is about 3 minutes, depending on how thick your steak is and what temperature you want it to be at. Medium rare is about 125 with carryover resting heat. Okay, I'm going to keep doing this. I'll be right back. So that really just took about 2.5 minutes. I'm going to take it out of the pan and put it on this plate, and it needs to rest. This part is the hardest part, waiting to eat this beautiful steak, but it's very, very important. The steak, as it rests, the juices redistribute. If you cut it now, the juices are just going to run all over the plate. Nobody wants that. It's not good. So we'll be back when it's ready to cut. So I did tent the steak while it was resting, and I may or may not have put a little extra butter on top. It was really good. And it has melted, thank goodness. And here she is, it's beautiful. I'm gonna take it off this plate, and I'm gonna slice it up for John and I to eat. Oh, don't lose all that juice. That's gonna be amazing. Okay, so you wanna cut it against the grain. I'm just gonna cut this little piece off. So the grain is running this way, so we're gonna cut it that way. Like this. Nice thin slices. Just like that. Okay, I can't help it. Try it. It smells really good. Okay, hold on. Oh, it's so good. Really taste the garlic. Taste the herbs. The crust is amazing. It is indescribable. The crust is the best part. Okay, you can do this with any kind of steak. It doesn't have to be a ribeye. It could be a New York. It could be a filet. Any kind of steak. I'm going to serve mine with a salad, side of sweet potatoes, because that's what I like. Thanks for watching Cooking for Two 101. Give it a try. Cook a steak inside. You'll be excited and delighted. All right, don't forget to like, subscribe. All those things help us out. Thanks for watching. We'll see you soon.